this got interesting. What is up, my name and welcome to another episode of Seba Reviews. And today we're reviewing the third episode of Marvel's What If. And this one is very, very interesting. I mean, the first two, again, has some interesting concepts there, some cool stuff to work with, but this one, like, oh my god. This is where I think the show really picked up for me. They do some cool, interesting ideas and concepts. This is where they're very expensive with the idea and very creative with it and very imaginative with this idea, and this is where it's fun. This is what I wanted for the first two episodes, so we're finally getting it here. And I kind of agree with the idea with like Josh Williams. Like, if you're not seeing Afternoon 2, watch it. I guest starred in one of the episodes, and we talked about the first episode of What If, and he told this idea that I totally agree with it. The first two episodes should have been put out together at the same time and just watch them together, because that gives you the feeling of what the show is going to be. And I totally agree with that, because this episode is like, all right, it's completely different for this first episode. It kind of feels like maybe those two were like the trial runs, like, all right, let's get you warmed up to kind of see how it is. But I guess being it separately just makes it kind of boring. But again, the first episodes individually just not that good anyways. I'm not gonna give it a pass, but this is where really I feel the show picks up. It's fun. So for this episode, it's hard to kind of get into detail without spoiling, because I don't want to spoil the episode, but I'm basically gonna say this is a murder mystery and it's cool. I don't want to say who's involved in this episode, but there's some cool things going on here and I really love that stuff. But what this episode does is, again, we're going back, because I guess this is going to happen in the rest of the show. I guess we're going to come back, revisit some of the movies. Hopefully later on we don't have to. We can revisit some of the characters. That's the whole point of What If. But maybe not revisit the movies per se. But this episode, it does that again. But it works to its favor because it does give some interesting spins in here. And I'm like, I like this. So even seeing some things that we already saw in the previous movie, they kind of switched some of the actors. And so that was kind of cool to see. But the whole concept of going back to the movies only served the actual plot. It's not like, oh, reference, wink, wink, wink kind of shit. This is actually serves the murder mystery that we're having here and we're trying to solve. And it's a lot of fun, because throughout the whole episode, you're wondering, okay, what is going on? Who's behind this? I kind of had an idea midway of what this was, but it was just fun to try to figure out, trying to see these different characters trying to solve the mystery and trying to survive and seeing like what's gonna happen and how they encounter the situation. It's super cool. And many actors from the MCU come back and they're cool, especially one specific actor who comes back, and he's great. He's great in this role. Again, I don't want to say who it is in case you don't know, but it's just so cool. I mean, I don't even want to put in the thumbnail because I just want you guys to watch it. I want you guys to be surprised at what's gonna happen in this episode, because it's insane. But it's fun. And actually the 30-minute mark kind of worked here a lot better, because again, it's like they don't try to put all these story beats, and it didn't feel like we have enough time this time around, no pun intended. It worked in this episode, you know. It's just like it felt like there's enough time to kind of explore his idea. It didn't feel too long, it didn't feel too short. It felt like it just worked. It was a cool little short movie kind of, and one of those like one-shots that we kind of get back in the day, you know, for phase 1 to Marvel. That was fun. It was just so cool to see this. And again, all of the different characters we see here, I mean, some of the actors don't come back, especially one of them you can tell was not the actor, but I mean, that person sounded okay. I mean, they were fine in the role, but like, it wasn't distracting. But a lot of the actors did come back for this episode, and I really enjoyed this, so it was a very good plus for me. Plus, get it? But yeah, what I loved about this episode, again, is very intriguing. It was very compelling to see the story and how they could solve this mystery. Who is it? What's gonna happen? Like, just trying to figure out what's gonna happen, and obviously the things that are surrounding this murder mystery. There's like a lot of things going on around it, and it's actually super cool. So I liked everything. I love how the way it ended. It was a kind of, again, a very bizarro alternate timeline. Like, what the fuck is this? I liked it. I really enjoyed the episode. Like, it's very well done, very well written, by the way. This is one of the episodes felt like, all right, this is where the writing is actually good. And is where it feels like this very imaginative and is very creative. There's a lot of cool ideas behind it, and they're having fun exploring these themes and these and concepts. And this is what I wanted from the show from the get-go. So we're finally getting it here. So what I'm hoping is after this episode, we kind of keep that tone. I mean, obviously it doesn't have to be a murder mystery, but I'm just saying, like, let's have some cool, let's just have some fun with these ideas and kind of go out there and go wild sometimes. It doesn't have to be like that every episode as well. You don't have to go like super wild and crazy, but let's just have some fun with these concepts, like explore and expand on them more, and just have some fun switching things around, but just not make it too safe or kind of relying too much on the movies. Just do whatever you want. Just have fun. This is what I felt with this episode. I felt like just even people behind it just enjoying what they were doing. Kind of like can tell, like, man, there's some cool shit we're working with here. And this episode was very suspenseful. It was thrilling. It just mind-boggling. I couldn't believe it. So I really enjoyed it. Again, it's not like top tier content. I'm like, oh my god, this is one of the best Marvel stuff I've ever seen. I mean, maybe it could be one of the best Marvel stuff because it's very different and it's not something that we're used to seeing in the MCU. But again, it's not like wow. It's like compared to like a lot of things that we've seen around like television and movies, or whatever. It's like no, but this is fun. It's very inventive, especially for kind of the formula in the MCU. So this is cool. I really liked it. I hope they continue with this. I hope they continue this tone of just exploring these concepts and having fun with them. So we'll see. I'm just gonna spoil quickly because in case you want to know my spoilery thoughts on this episode. So again, yeah, the Avengers are fucking getting killed one by one, and I couldn't believe it from the beginning because I have no idea what this episode was gonna be about. I was like, all right, we're doing Iron Man 2 now. What a great movie to reference. What the fuck? And then, oh shit, Tony Stark dies. What? And then seeing like what is the whole story about later on, and trying to counter all these different characters and all these different movies. I'm like, that's super fucking cool. And obviously we've seen different things from these movies. Like for example, like we're kind of seeing more of Hawkeye from Thor because only Hawkeye had a bit cameo in that movie, and that was it. So seeing more of that scene kind of expand in a different way was really cool. And then we're seeing Incredible Hulk, the movie, but with Mark Ruffalo as Edward Norton's character. Fucking cool, and it was staying in line with who Mark Ruffalo's version of Bruce Banner is. So it was cool to see, like, so that's how that movie would have looked like with Mark Ruffalo. That's awesome. And I kind of knew halfway who was the fucking murderer. I kind of knew halfway. I was like, wait a minute, some things here kind of indicate, especially one bit of dialogue, that it's a small person. Is it Hope Van Dyne? Wait, I was like, first I thought it was Hank Pym. Then I was like, maybe it's Hope. Oh shit! No, it's like it's Hank Pym. I think also Michael Douglas came back for that role, so that was amazing. One thing weird about it is like I felt like it was an actor trying to imitate Michael Douglas, but apparently it was him. So I don't know if that's a testament to his acting, that it wasn't really good in this episode, but he was great. It didn't sound like Michael Douglas to me. Oh, and that one actor that I said I loved coming back was Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. He's fucking amazing in this episode. I love him. But yeah, it's just seeing like the reveal of Hank Pym and why he's doing it is very, very compelling. Is very well done and kind of is in line with what Hank Pym said in the movie, the first movie. Like he just doesn't like the Avengers. He doesn't like the Starks. So it made a lot of sense. So again, super well done. It's very creative. It's a lot of fun just dealing with trying to unravel this mystery, but kind of seeing these different scenarios. Like, how would they be with, like, if the main protagonist dies in the movie? Like, what the fuck? Also, did Liv Tyler come back for this episode? I don't think so, but whatever. I really enjoyed the whole thing, so this is cool. This episode was just great. I really loved it. But let me ask you guys, did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Were those things could be better? Did some things were bad? Like, I don't know. But let me know what you thought of the episode. Let's go talk about it, because this was a fun one to talk about. If you like this review, please give a like, share, subscribe for more reviews or different wide variety content, because this channel is just very diverse like that. Well, whatever you want is probably here, or I'm gonna do it. So thank you guys for watching again. My name is Sebastián Productions. Y yo seguiré aquí hablando de shit.